What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update and a clip coming from MSNBC. This is Screaming Joe Scarborough once again, guys, talking and dancing himself right off a cliff. Once again, in similar fashion we've seen, weeks prior, this guy Joe Scarborough can't get over himself and can't get over that TDS syndrome that he possesses. He's up there with the likes of, Jessica Tarloff, Joy Behar, and Sunny Hostin on The View at this point, guys. We got Joe Scarborough once again trying to scream to get his point across, now trying to project that lie and gaslight his audience to believe that Trump is a scary figure, and now the left is scared to bring about these witch hunt trials and cases against Donald Trump because he is such a scary figure. I'm excited to get in this clip and see exactly what Joe Scarborough's got to say on Trump now. So we get straight to the clip and I'll get my thoughts on the back end of the video, guys. So definitely stick around to the end so you guys get my thoughts on the back end, and also YouTube pushes this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. But yeah, let's get straight into the update, guys. Before we even do that though, make sure you guys hit that like button for me and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Guys, we're going to run out of popcorn on this one, creating a massive popcorn shortage to anyone who wants to watch MSNBC. Joe Scarborough, Mika, they completely fall apart on the morning slow. They have a Trump derangement syndrome like I've never seen. They're going to unpack it for you here, and we will rebut them item by item and completely demolish them right here at Exile, because that's what we do. We support Trump, defend him where the media will not defend him, and then we attack the left where the media will not hold them to account. We're the Accountability Project. Thank you guys for subscribing, getting us over 460,000 subscribers, my new YouTube record. Thanks to you. Let's go.
It is in many cases, and that a lot of jurors are fearful of repercussions if they're in on a jury that's impaneled that rules against Donald Trump.
Okay, this is the first lie they tell, is that these jurors are uniquely terrified, I should say. Any jurors who acquitted Kyle Rittenhouse or Trump, you'll get 3 lunatics will come out and threaten them, okay? Otherwise, this fear tactic that Democrats say is because the jury is scared, we get to take away all of Trump's freedoms. And in fact, they would probably be for even taking my freedom away from calling it out because it inspires violence. Never mind all of the violence, nearly all of it coming from the Democrat side. Black Lives Matter, Palestine, anti-Israel revolts in the streets, taking over Brooklyn Bridge, environmentalists blocking freeways into San Francisco. In spite of all that, they go, these jurors are scared.
They want the names out. The judge trying to keep the names from getting out there, but this is, over time, this has proven to be very dangerous and tough.
This tactic was even used by Jack Smith to cover up names in the name of trying to protect someone from violence. Here's Julie Kelly on Twitter. One of the excuses special counsel Jack Smith gave Judge Cannon as to why evidence of collusion between, quote, the Obama sisters, Lisa Monaco, Department of Justice, and Avril Haines, DNI, must be kept under wraps, was because the intel community is a victim of Trump. So you can see even Jack Smith is using the fear-mongering to cover up and redact documents and keep you from getting information. It's part of the brainwashing. Trump people are violent. Biden people are peaceful, even though the opposite is true.
For the gag, or even with the gag order, about the judge, about the judge's daughter, with the jury, everybody is under a great deal of stress and concern about their safety.
Mika does not have a concern about safety. Neither does Alvin Bragg. Now, which way would you feel more safe? Being on the Trump jury? In fact, if you're a Republican on the Trump jury, wouldn't you fear more being around 90% Democrats in Manhattan? And if you wanted to acquit him, wouldn't you have more fear for your business, your life, your social standing? How would you feel being a Jew on the streets of Alvin Bragg's New York? Remember, Mika's talking about 12 jurors here. Think if you were a Jew walking down the streets with this mob coming down the streets of Alvin Bragg's Manhattan, which happened last night. No concern for safety. Mika and Joe aren't going to report on it. MSNBC have a narrative to build, a lie to build.
It's Donald Trump, no matter which way this goes, that you got to keep your eye on, because Donald Trump right now is enduring something that he's never had to endure in his entire life.
Donald Trump is just not used to getting all this attention, Mika. Good point. Right on top of your head.
Where he has to be somewhere every day and do what he's told. When he's told to sit down by the judge, he has to sit down. That happened on Friday at least once.
Trump's been on trial. He's been in more court cases than I've had warm meals. He's used to having to obey judicial orders, reasonable, conducting himself like a normal person on trial. All this exaggeration of him, he stood up and now he has to sit down. He got on his cell phone, now he has to turn it off.
When he tries to get on his phone, he's told to get off of his phone.
I've been on jury in court cases where I brought out my phone in the courtroom and the guard came over and said, shut that off. Okay. It does not represent a crisis to the individual.
This is a guy, John Meacham, that has spent his entire life creating this warped reality.
And now this is the Trump has a unique warped reality simply because, by the way, Trump is wealthy and powerful and he can surround himself with anything he wants. And it's MSNBC that has spent more time and calories creating a warped reality for its entire audience.
That goes wherever his mind wants it to go, and keeping people around him that allows him to avoid reality.
Isn't this all of MSNBC? They keep people around them to help them avoid reality. I mean, go down their YouTube's feed and watch channel after channel. Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, all of Morning Joe, over and over, reinforcing a Manhattan far left reality and projecting it out to the entire world. That goes out to Oklahoma. It goes out to the swamps of Louisiana. They're trying to project the reality on all of us. And Trump's just one guy. I don't think he has enough power, although MSNBC helps Trump because actually their ratings would be dead without him.
Keeping people around him that does exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, and I'll bet Joe Scarborough keeps people around him that don't do what he wants them to do. Heck no. These famous people, anyone on TV, they have assistants, makeup, wardrobe, producers. When you're a major name on a platform, the way Joe Scarborough is, I guarantee you he's got the little man syndrome and he barks orders at all his little assistants. Fetch me a coffee, fetch me that document, get me that news article. They're famous for it.
He was so proud of having a button on his White House desk. He goes, I press this button and somebody brings in Diet Coke. He loved the complete control. And
I don't know, maybe he just likes having a button so he doesn't have to get up and get a Diet Coke if he's thirsty. I guarantee you they have coffee mugs on that Morning Joe counter. They're not getting their own coffee. Someone's going to the break room, fetching them a coffee. Fetch me this script. Fetch me that information. Sometimes if you're a gentleman or a lady, it's please and thank you. But I've seen it in Hollywood my whole lives. The elites that are in entertainment, the more success they have, the more it's get me a coffee, get me that script, copy this, bring me that. And if they take too much time, you throw a stapler at their head.
And command, and he has his entire life. And now he's sitting down 6, 7, 8 hours a day. And
at 78 years old.
78 years old.
Oh, now age is a problem for Trump. I'm not even going to get into who else it might be a bigger problem for. I think you guys can figure it out in the chat.
Judge telling him what to do, falling asleep, being mocked, getting angry about that.
You know, Joe Scarborough telling other people about having anger issues when he has been on the air live screaming his head off and we've laughed at him already. And who likes being mocked? I mean, I'm mocking you, Joe Scarborough, but if I was sitting on a court case and mocking you to your face, are you supposed to enjoy that? Is Trump supposed to enjoy that? He's a human being.
Yeah, it's this is quite
New
a situation and new territory for Donald Trump.
Not new territory. He's actually taken it better than anyone I can imagine, and he dominates the situation, turns it against his enemies, and ends up benefiting his own campaign. Trump's the last guy I'm worried about in this whole thing. I'm worried about America. I'm not worried about Trump. He's going to be fine.
He has been someone that I have supported since 2016 because I recognized that he didn't think he was better than anybody else in this country.
Now, this drives MSNBC crazy, that she said that Trump doesn't think he's better than anybody else. And I've heard this about him. Behind the scenes, you know, I think he probably has a pretty sober view of himself, even for being a giant personality. It's weird how many people have say, I see him in the quiet moments, and he doesn't think of himself as better than a coal miner, an oil worker, an auto mechanic, the way that Joe Scarborough, you know, treats these people with disdain.
He wanted to go run for this office so he could serve the people here and fight for them every single day.
Yeah, and remember who said the basket of deplorables? That's the left. The left, despite, or Obama, who said they're after their guns and God. The way that they talk about the common man, and Trump is here to serve the common man.
Yeah, well, first of all,
Oh, boy.
he inherited $400 million.
She lied so
He
many
flies
different
around.
times there.
It's hard to keep up with.
It was hard to keep up, but
I mean-
Dana did a good job.
And here's the chatter, the lies. They're freaking out. They don't know what to say about someone who's a Trump fan like Kristi Noem. They have to quickly edit that and get you to see their disdain, eye rolling, crossed arms, disbelief, just shock. Kristi Noem is normal. Her opinion of Trump is normal.
She will continue to support Donald Trump despite the stench of corruption that's around him. You look at what a judge in New York talking about how he's a rapist. She stands behind him.
Now they just repeated that libel Judge Kaplan made against Trump, even though Trump was only accused of some kind of assault. The judge said it's the same thing as the R word. And Joe Scarborough just repeated it. That is disgusting. He has no right to repeat it. That's a slander. And he goes, the judge said it. So at least Joe's careful from making the conclusion that Trump is that. And he said, the judge said it. Yeah, the judge said it, and the judge should be sued because he was lying. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing at Joe Scarborough and Mika because they're so pathetic at their attempt to brainwash their audience. Their ratings are failing. Trump has never been more popular than ever. Biden is failing in their great brainwashing. It's not working.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug in Exile. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below. For those you want to go over there and check that out. Also, you guys to go over there and show our friend Doug a bit of love. Oh my goodness, guys. Looks like that guy Joe is trying to fight to stay above water over on MSNBC, you know, trying to go against this guy, Donald Trump. You know, it's truly a stand-up guy. We got Joe doing all he can, you know, to fight for that job and that spot over at MSNBC, you know, trying to go against and say that, you know, Donald Trump is not who he says he is. This guy, you know, is one who is instilling fear among his, you know, his political opponents. He's going out here, you know, and that's why these cases are coming about against him. Almost trying to say that, you know, Donald Trump possesses this mafia type, you know, campaign cabinet. We all know that not to be true. I believe clips like this is what's waking individuals on the left up to what's going on, the real reality. You know, that TDS syndrome, those TDS blinders are coming off when they're seeing clips like this where, you know, Joe is trying to say that this guy Trump is, you know, scary at this point, and he has been, you know, de-armed. All his guns are gone. You know, he has no weapons whatsoever. He is battling this out, you know, with his hands, feet, elbows, and his knees. I mean, there is nothing he could do as far as, you know, firing back on these folks. He's just out here telling the truth. And the truth is enough to tear down their cases and these witch hunts against Donald Trump. I mean, this guy Joe is trying to say that, you know, jurors are scared to sit on the seat or sit on the panel going against this guy, Donald Trump, because they're scared that he's going to come back after them. I mean, that's not the truth whatsoever. I mean, you have to think a Republican, like just like what Doug's saying, a Republican sitting on that seat would be way more nervous or fearful of, their job, their business going against, the big machine, especially in the state of New York, that district of Manhattan, trying to go against what they're saying and their word and supporting this guy, Donald Trump, to say that, I'm going to get him acquitted on these charges that have been wrongfully, brought about. To interfere with the election, no, guys, that's going to, bring about a lot of trouble and turmoil in your life. If you're a Republican versus, being a Dem, sitting on the seat where it's, 90% of your folks. I don't know. It's just hard to believe that, you would be fearful or be scared of anything, that would come about, going against this guy, Donald Trump, in that case, sitting on that jury. This guy, Joe, was just, going to great lengths to try to prove his points. Get these lies out there and gaslight his audience to believe that, this guy, Donald Trump, needs to be taken down because he is a threat to, all democracy. He is a threat to the American people. But it's quite the opposite, guys. Donald Trump is, standing in front of their weapon and he's standing in front of us, shielding us from what could potentially happen to us, and we're the everyday, common citizen, not going to have, the resources that he has to be able to, fight this toe to toe. And that's why he is, going to great lengths. He's so resilient and hasn't backed down yet. We got this guy, Joe, is going to keep screaming, try to get these lies. Just because he is screaming doesn't mean he is telling the truth. And I believe a lot of people are waking up to the fact that, this guy, Joe, is a complete liar. And we've got Mika, trying to balance it out a little bit, keep him even kill. I don't even think that's worked. This guy, Joe Scarborough, deserves to be walked out the door. MSNBC should have seen enough of this guy a long time ago. He is fighting to stay above water, fighting to tread water. In the deep waters, trying to go against Donald Trump. It's not easy fighting against a guy, who seeks to, better America. And just honestly, a stand-up guy. We got, Kristi Noem coming out and saying that this guy, Donald Trump, doesn't think he is better than anyone, no single human being, whether that be, the everyday blue collar, white collar, it does not matter. He, compares himself to the like every other worker, just trying to, aid for the benefit of America, and be a good member of society. We got Mika, we got Joe over here freaking out frantically after, Kristi Noem is stating that Donald Trump isn't so bad after all. Oh my, I'm surprised they aired that clip on their show. But then again, this is live, so they didn't have time to, cut it out, because that message that we just seen Kristi Noem put out definitely goes against and deviates from their program, their agenda on MSNBC. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on this one. We've got Joe Scarborough and his partner in crime and Mika going toe to toe, trying to go and tarnish Donald Trump's image once again. It's not working though. Honestly, I feel like this is a big wake up call for those on the left to start seeing through these lies when they're so blatant. I mean, trying to say that Donald Trump is some scary big figure. Jurors are now scared in New York to sit on, that trial going against Donald Trump. We all know that not to be true. If anything, Republican jurors on that trial would be scared, in that 90% Dem Manhattan district. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section though and let me know your thoughts on this one. I don't know how much longer Joe Scarborough has to do this one. I think we've seen Mika a little bit fed up with having to cover up and clean up for this guy Joe there at the end. You guys definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on that one though. Also, make sure you guys hit that share button and share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible, guys. Share the truth. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. It doesn't cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next one.